hopefully I can get this done in 10 minutes or less. Wanna try me? Welcome to my Visions of Mana debrief demo video. From what I've been looking around, Visions of Mana is the 4th or so game in the Mana timeline. Now, you may be wondering, do I know the history of this game? Have I played it before? No, I haven't. But you'd be surprised with the amount of attention this game got. After looking around, I got curious, and then the demo came out recently, and then I thought, why not see the hype, you know? And that's what I'm here for. I'm a quote-unquote outside looking in player for the game Visions of Mana. So now we begin looking into the demo. Now, to be frank, there wasn't that much for me to be iffy about here, so we can start with the visuals. The game is very colorful and bright, even the monsters also reflect on that. I'm not used to that kind of style really, but I can say that after playing it for a while, I definitely fell for it. In my opinion, if you can find a way to convince a person who likes one type of style to start to slowly like another type of style, then you did your job really well. When you first enter the game, it's in a snowy area, which, by the way, gives a nice frozen feel with how bright and fluffy the snow looks. But then you get to the forest area, and then it's like a nice spring season with trees all around. The houses, the items around them was also pretty to see, and even the harbor area was good too. The color schemes and style they chose works well for the game, and the theme of it as well. Like, if it's a game, you know, about elements, I would definitely want the game to be very colorful and bright too. So like, for example, the monsters, like I said. At first, I didn't know what I was fighting because they were kind of tiny. But then after a few battles, I noticed that the monsters really had a lot of color, like actually a pop of color to be honest. For example, the final boss. Bruh, for a scary kraken, I don't know, it looked kind of pretty to look at. I'm a sucker for, you know, purple, and with the contrast of yellow and green, it was very nice to see. I was pretty worried that the colors would be too vibrant for the characters, but seeing them in action was even better. My favorite was actually Karina and Val for sure, because their designs were just so nice, and I have a favorite for like red themed stuff. Well, basically all in all, the visuals were on spot. They were spot on. Funnily enough, I don't really play games that are this vibrant in color. The last time I would say I played a game like this would be Theorhythm Final Barline, and I could say it definitely reminds me a lot of this one old MMO called Fiesta Online, with how I guess the colors and the models are. And also I even got to ride the little puppies, the pickles I believe they're called. And I was able to call them at my beck and call. And honestly, to be honest, if it wasn't for them, the walk from the beginning of the game to the end of the game would have been a little bit longer, you know. A lot of things were interactive, so there was a lot of things I could have done, but I was a little bit on a time crunch, so yeah. Okay, onto the combat system. So this isn't really a turn-based type of combat system, it's rather real-time, and I had a few favorite parts to it. I like the emphasis on elements as a combat system, but I can still button mash, definitely, but the elements obviously do more damage. I mean, I still definitely button mash, but over time I realized that I wasn't doing much damage, so I definitely learned to use the elements over time, and I did. You can level and upgrade your element skills through leveling up, so I can see how eventually regular attacks will start to be a little obsolete. And honestly, I like that. Like, hear me out. When you've seen a lot of battle systems out there, the more interesting or unique they are, the more fun, like, it'll be. The funny part is that I got so used to turn-based that I forgot I can dodge enemy attacks by jumping, aka the Kraken fight. Oh, I'm so slow. I forgot you can jump. Oh my gosh. I'm not realizing that. What's wrong with me? I feel embarrassed a little bit. I ain't gonna front. Another thing is that you can switch around elements for each person. So for me, I had Val on no element, Karina on Luna, and Morley on wind. And thankfully, 2-1 Mad Kaiser, who was in the chat, taught me about a cute trick. Transformation scenes! Bro, I kid you not, they all became my babies after that, man. Each fit was so cute. Honestly, I prefer the wind outfit for all three. They were very cute, I'm sorry. Okay, the shortcut menus is another thing I'm very grateful for. You can easily place what you want in there instead of opening the other main menu, which might take longer when you're in the heat of the battle. The combat system wasn't so bad either, like I said. It didn't look so cluttered and was pretty minimal in my opinion. Like I meant the UI and like the HUD basically. Shortcuts was on the lower right hand corner and HP and the other stuff was in the left hand corner, along with a few helpful labeled buttons so you don't like get lost in what you're pushing and what you're not pushing. If anything, I'd say the lock-on mechanism was fine, but sometimes it zoomed out and I wouldn't be able to see what was going on, but it was still helpful nonetheless. Next up is the characters. Now, I don't know these characters correctly like off rip because I haven't played Mana, I have never played any of the Mana series. But from what I've seen from this demo, each character is actually very cute. Morley's VA is so smooth. I love Karina's southern accent that doesn't even seem so forced. And then Hina is so soft and sweet but gives an airy type of feel. And then like Val is just, he's adorable. I love how gung-ho he is about protecting his friends. Like it didn't seem like an awkward friendship group, but rather one that is just starting to get along together, especially when they helped Karina with the whole lost key issue in the harbor area. Friendship is definitely bonding there. If anything, the only downside was the frame rate a bit and movement. I noticed that the frame rates were stuttering just a bit, especially during battles and in the snowy area. It may have been because of a few mechanical things here and there on my end. Like, this happened the same thing with Star Ocean Divine Force demo. It had the same type of frame rate issue, and also in this demo, I think the movement was a little bit off, but I think that also may have played a bit into the frame rate issue. Other than that, the demo was pretty good for me. Like, I never played any of the Mana series before. I mean, I've heard of the last two, I think, which was the Collections of Mana and the Secrets of Mana, unless if I'm going crazy. It came out a few years back, and it's nice to see it continuing onwards. I'm definitely excited for the full game now that I have a hand of what I'll be playing. Hopefully this was under 10 minutes. I don't think it is, but we tried. Well, yeah, bye!